serious thing.
No.
Like, what do you mean no? Yes, they are.
Yeah, we can tell there's a convention.
And like the thing is though, like you can't go to like a furry convention and make fun of furries.
Nobody's going to go make fun of them.
What we're doing right now, like I'm a fur up. Like that is making fun of furries.
How do you know that's not a legitimate term in the furry world?
We're going to fur up.
How do you know it is?
How do you know it's not?
First of all, even if it is a legitimate term in the furry world, that's their word. We can't say it.
Can't use Nerf herder.
Fur herder.
Fur herder.
Fur herder.
Okay, hold on.
Fur
but I'm serious. I'm not even trying to like troll. I'm serious. I think we should go to Furlandia.
Fuck. No,
for a full weekend.
First of all,
$55.
I'd never want to go to Seattle for anything.
Okay, good.
Or Oregon.
Why?
Yeah.
That's where 10 is.
10?
Yeah.
Transport Evolved?
Yeah.
She's in Oregon?
Yeah. And plus, Amanda's told me plenty of times she went to Oregon or she went to Portland once. She said it was a beautiful city, and I see tons of YouTube channels.
You hate hipsters. Portland is the hipster capital of the world.
Okay, let's be quite honest. Yes, I hate hipsters, but what they do, like what they make, looks pretty cool.
Yeah, like slow drip coffee.
No, I don't like that.
Or French press coffee.
French press slow dip, triple cooled, twice aerated coffee.
Mocha choca bullshit.
Mocha choca.
No, I think SexynerdScience should make a Memorial Day trip to Finlandia next year.
Josh, are you recording?
You're recording.
Yes, but can you record too?
No. Why you ask me to record and you don't give me permission? This is bullshit. Yeah, now I'm recording. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it says recording in my corner.
And it says stop and pause and record. You sure? Because you can say that every time.
I want to know who the guests of honor for Landia.
Did you look at the theme though? It's poodle skirts and DuckTales for next year.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's 50s.
Next year,
I would love to go as Gizmo guys. Just say.
All right. We're obviously recording. So this is Sexy Nerd Science. We have gotten very deep into this.
Into furries.
We got deep into fur. And so this is season 3, episode 19. And this is just getting crazy. So why don't we just go off and start with, hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
All right. So Furlandia's guests for next year are Mark Werepuppy Brill. He's an artist guest of honor. Majira Strawberry.
I want you to say the first guy again.
Mark Werepuppy Brill.
Like somebody had to choose that middle name. It's not real, Drew.
There's a fursuit maker guest of honor, a guy that makes fursuits, the Mischief Makers.
We're gonna lose 100% of our furry audience with this episode.
So how many people
are learning about people? We are learning about this.
You're laughing at a man's middle name, Dale.
Is that his real middle name? No.
You know what? It could be.
It's not.
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and just say that that's his furry name.
Which is just as much of his real name, I would assume.
Fur puppy, or what was it? Werepuppy.
Werepuppy.
Yeah.
And I mean, no, it's not his real name. You're Josh Johnson Gebby. What's your middle name again? Josh
Robert.
The same as Dale's.
Joshua Robert Gebby. If you were like, my name is Joshua Robert Poodle Pants Gebby, I would say, okay, your name's Joshua Robert Gebby, but you want to be called Poodle Pants.
And that's the reality that I live in.
Yeah, exactly. So
the reality that he lives in, this could be his real name.
In the furry world, but I don't think he goes to his job. I mean, I guess
non-furry job.
His non-furry job, and goes, "Hi, I'm Mark Werepuppy Brill."
I'm not gonna say.
I mean,
yes
if his real
job
is like to, what'd you say? He was a furry maker.
It's an artist guest.
So if his real job is to do that, then I guess it would be. But at the same
Well, let's just read the description. Mark Brill, otherwise known in his furry fandom as Werepuppy.
Okay. Well, there
Done.
you go.
There it is. It's
Conversation over.
Werepuppy. Conversation over.
Yep.
Conversation just beginning.
Yeah. There is a lot of guests here.
So, Dale, can you go ahead and just like edit things as we talk about them in the script here? I guess.
Yes, I can do that.
We were going through that, and then we just really got into this.
Yeah.
Finlandia.
I want to talk about the Mummy movie without Brendan Fraser. Talk about that.
Wait, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
We talked about the
new one.
But you guys saw this thing I posted on our Facebook page, right?
The rewritten.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was gold and genius.
I thought it was so funny.
He's like, I have no fucking clue why I'm here. I just woke up. I don't understand.
I can see it. I can see Brendan Fraser doing it too.
Yeah, I think. So I looked it up. I thought Brendan Fraser died.
From that episode in Scrubs.
Yeah, from that episode of Scrubs, he was
forever dead.
Yeah, like the third Mummy movie didn't happen.
I saw the third Mummy movie with you, Dale. Like with you in theaters.
But so yeah, I think this is phenomenal. What it is, and if you guys haven't checked it out, it's a little thing somebody wrote. I don't know if it's a Facebook post or
looks like a Tumblr post.
The fact that you can't recognize a Tumblr post, Dale.
Yeah,
I finally understand the Reddit one, which it kind of like goes over like that, right?
For every new
Tumblr too.
No, it's Tumblr.
Oh, okay.
For every new person that's commenting, it does the indent.
Okay, well, this doesn't have any indents. It's just somebody writing.
Well, it's just one post.
Just one post.
Okay. Point is, it's like Tom Cruise finds a mummy, Brendan Fraser's the mummy, and shoots Tom Cruise. That's the whole story. It's fucking hilarious.
So in those Tumblr posts, Dale, the anytime it indents is somebody adding something to the story there.
Yeah.
So
well, it usually says their name next to it too, and so I don't know. I didn't quite understand it.
It doesn't say no. It says the names at the top, and like for each person that comments on it, and then like it has a line down for each person's name where it starts.
So it used to be really confusing.
Yeah.
Why isn't there just one like social media website that I just follow and I don't have to deal with all these other ones?
Because Tumblr you can be naked on.
What?
Tumblr?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I used to watch those Tumblrs all the time.
What do you mean those Tumblrs?
Well, so like you can have different people doing different like so there was a like sexy like BDSM Tumblr that like,
it's not even like about that. It's just like you can like there can be nudity on Tumblr and
yeah.
Like unless people are searching your Tumblr name or thing, you're pretty unfollowable unless you're tagging yourself in stuff. But
is it like Twitter then? Like where you have to @ somebody?
Yes and no.
Twitter. So I mean,
you can DM, but I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, I mean you use the people's usernames.
So how did somebody find this mummy thing? Did somebody have to like @ mummy or @ Hollywood?
Well, somebody probably followed that guy.
Yeah, Josh, you're breathing into Mike.
And somebody probably followed that guy and thought it was funny. And
yeah,
I mean, all it takes is if you wrote it and you have 3 followers and I'm one of your followers to go, holy shit, Dale, that's funny. I'm gonna post that all over the internet.
Yeah,
reblog.
Yeah,
exactly.
Reblog, and then everybody reblogs it. Realistically, on Tumblr, all it takes is one really like followable, like heavily followed person to reblog one thing, and it's pretty much.
I think I'm gonna have to ask Amanda if I can get a Tumblr.
I mean, it's
a real. So this is crazy that we literally went from furries to Tumblr because you're talking about 2 of like the largest like internet communities out there.
Of course.
Like, and there's a Venn diagram where those two communities overlap in the middle. But I mean, like, it's crazy that if you're just oblivious to either of these. I kid you not. Like, Tumblr is one of the most, like,
furry friendly.
No, it's one of, like, well, so for instance, like,
well, that too.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Tumblr is a huge community for, like, a lot of the nerdy, weird people that would, like, listen to a podcast like ours.
Yeah.
What? And we're like, we're shaming, or not shaming. I don't want to say we're shaming. Let's delete all of this shit then.
That's what I'm saying. Like, literally, we're talking
what we're talking about
furries, and like, I'm just like, it's crazy, and I think this is important. Like, this is a fun topic to talk about because I love, like, Dale knows a lot of stuff, but when Dale doesn't know something, like, it is just amazing to the depths of what Dale doesn't know about it. Like,
it's like a complete brick wall.
I love it. Yeah, I was just like, you've never heard of Tumblr before. Like, you don't know what Tumblr is.
Well, I know a Tumblr. I mean, I've heard of it. I think Brittany's talked about it before, but it's like what it is. It's social media, and that's all I know.
Like, at a time, like, it was even bigger probably than, I mean, at a time, of course. I mean, yeah, it's like, it's so weird. Like, I use Tickld. Like, that's the kind of app that I use, which is very similar to Tumblr, except Tickld's from the UK and Tumblr's not. Again, yeah, you have no idea, do you?
No, you can't make these up.
I'm not. Like, I have the app on my phone.
Tickld is like a meme share. Is like,
it was good for memes, yeah.
Tickld
is like, so Tickld is like,
Tickld? Like, how do you spell it?
TICKLD?
LD?
Yep. And it's a bunch of memes. And
how do you spell Tumblr? Because I know it's like
TUMBLR.
What is it?
TUMBLR.
TUMBLR.
And both those things are kind of like the same kind. Like, they were like rival communities for a while. Like people on Tickld would get pissed if you just reposted stuff from Tumblr, and people on Tumblr didn't give a shit if you posted things from Tickld, because Tumblr people are way more cool than the Tickld people were.
I love, like, hating stuff, like, all the time, and I think that's like I always say, like, I hate hipster stuff, but, like, that what makes me a hipster is because I hate hipster stuff. And, like, you're teaching me stuff that I want to hate more. Like, I don't want to learn about this shit, and I just constantly am like, oh, it's more shit. Okay, it's more garbage on the internet that's not needed. Okay, let's do it.
Tumblr also has. Oh, sorry. Go on, Drew.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, Tumblr also, something that I think is really nice. Like, when it's asking you to create a profile, like, Tumblr has, like, every single pronoun you can think of for, like, describing yourself. So if you want to identify as, like, a Belgian waffle, you can on Tumblr. So when it's asking you to, like, give, like, your race, sex,
do people think
sexual
Belgian waffles are posting?
I mean, if you want to identify as Belgian waffle or furry or anything like that, like, Tumblr's a very inclusive group for all people, like, everybody. Like, they will include, if you dream it, there's a Tumblr, like, fandom for it. Like, Redditors are kind of mean. Like, Tumblrs are all just like, let's all hug and love each other and talk about Supernatural.
I like Reddit better.
See, I never really got into Reddit. I was into Tumblr.
Oh, I never got into Reddit either. I like arguing with people. Drew, can we talk about your friend?
Huh?
Oh, can we talk about your friend?
What friend?
Did you see that thing that's your friend posted on Tasha's wall or something?
What is it?
Well, I don't want to talk. I want to talk about it, but I don't want you to. I want you to say, go on Tasha's wall.
Dale went through commenting, like, a crap ton of stuff for some conspiracy theory nut.
No, he was trolling.
Was he seriously trolling?
I hope so.
I looked him up and I was like, dude, wasn't he, like, in the Air Force and he doesn't know what that shit is?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
Dale literally was, like, sending me, like,
I was so excited.
Of that.
Like the next comment was him being like, I had to look up top 10 conspiracy theories because I was trying to, like, keep it going.
Oh wow. Well, because he said two things that were like, it's like, dude, you either, like, think one way or the other. You're on both sides.
Conflicting.
Yeah, it was like the vaccine thing and the GMOs. It's like, GMOs are real. You have
like
to
apples to oranges.
You what? You want to vaccinate your kids, but you don't want GMOs, but you want stuff in your kid's body, but you don't want other stuff in your body? That makes no sense. If you're going to be angry at something, you have to be angry at one or the other. You can't.
You don't even believe your half of the argument, though.
Cheeto, shut up. Cheeto. Okay, so hold on. I got to take care of this fucking cat.
No.
Pussy destroyer.
When he said Cheeto, have you seen that new Rhett and Link episode, Linkin Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Cheeto. It's funny.
There's just a cat. Did
you just throw it? Oh, you carried
his
it.
hand.
I thought you like tossed it on camera.
Just gone.
I got to tell you something. So I have a friend named Kyle. If you don't know Kyle,
Al Cankle?
No, he has a cat, and Kyle, shout out to Kyle, not Kyle Cankle. He has a cat, and it's been sick, real bad sick. And he went to the doctor, took it in twice now, once in February and once now. And the doctor's like, give him this medicine, but nothing's helping. The cat's shitting on all over the place. It's pissing on stuff. And it's still fine. Like, it doesn't look sick or act sick, but it's still pooping everywhere. So Kyle's just fed up with it. So finally he went to the Humane Society on Thursday or Friday and was going to give the cat back. But they always ask, hey, if you're actually thinking about this, fill these paperwork out or something and give us 24 hours and then come on back with a cat after that. So make sure you want to give the cat away. This way it's not like one of those spare the moment things. So as he was leaving, this girl was like, oh, I'm looking for a cat, but none of the cats here are what I want. So he actually gave his cat to this girl that was leaving. And apparently she had like a bunch of cats, a bunch of dogs. And so point is though, like a few hours later, like this is after, a few short hours, the girl calls back like, your cat is shitting everywhere. We need to get this cat home. I'm going to call the Humane Society. It's scratching all my kids. You got to get this cat out of here. So Kyle had to go back this morning and pick up his cat. And his cat was covered in shit, just covered. So he calls me this morning, a few hours ago, and he's like, this morning I had to put the cat in the basement, shut the door, and go to work. I didn't know what else to do because I had to just take the cat, but I don't want him to touch everything, so I just put it in the basement. And I know you guys aren't laughing, but I thought that was the funniest story of the day. I don't know.
No, I thought it was. It's like sad but funny all the same.
Yeah, I mean, like I understand like you have to take care of your cat, your animal.
Because like our dogs are doing the same thing. Like they're pooping their brains out, and I don't know. Like the food didn't change. Like we got them the same type of food, but like treats. Like so their food brand, just a treat version. Like I don't know. It's like I know if you change a dog's food, you can turn their stomach and make them sick and stuff. But that didn't happen. Like no big deal. Like they've been on the same food since they've been here, and they've been crapping their brains out. Like,
well, they pooping like because what he was talking about is not to get too much in depth. The cat was pooping on itself, and it was like getting in its fur and whatnot, and then it was just getting crusty and walking around.
No, like that
was a very clean person, so he's like cleaning it up. But I mean,
no, like that's what's like. We've been doing the same thing. They're just not rolling around in it or getting in fur or anything. But
today's Bruce's birthday.
Happy birthday, Bruce Wayne.
Happy birthday, dog.
He had ice cream for his birthday today. Puppy ice cream.
That's so cool.
What's
peanut butter flavored?
Puppy ice cream and regular ice cream.
It's probably like made with some dairy substitute because dogs don't break down dairy very well.
Yeah.
And it was peanut butter flavored.
So
possibly.
So this is so basically we just been doing the chicken rice green bean diet with the dogs. It's funny that you were saying that they were shitting everywhere. But what were you gonna say, Josh, about that not laughing part?
Oh, I don't know. I'm like maybe take it to a different vet. If like one vet keeps giving you the answer like, oh, this should do it. Like maybe that vet's just not
qualified
doing the right stuff. Yeah, I mean, like I mean, I know it sounds weird, but like my vet is like 100. Like, and the way he does things is completely different than the way like a vet, like a younger veterinarian might be. And like when I talk to people, you know, like that was something with like Harley too. Like one of the reasons why Harley might have died earlier than he was supposed to was because like my dog's teeth, like Harley's teeth were rotting, and like in one big chunk, he's like, yeah, here's 7 days of antibiotics. Give him these before the surgery, and then we'll just remove a bunch of teeth, and then we'll give him some more antibiotics afterwards. And we were like, well, he's not looking too good. Should you keep him like an extra day? And he's like, oh, no, he'll be fine. Like he's just going to be lethargic because of the meds. And like then he didn't eat the whole next day, and then he was throwing up the day after that, and then he died. Like, I mean, and a lot of it might have been because maybe some of the practices were outdated by the older veterinarian that we go to.
Yeah, like Dick Van Dyke on Scrubs.
Exactly.
Exactly like that.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Oh, poor Dick Van Dyke.
So this is sort of in the topic of everything we pretty much talked about besides the month.
This is sexy news, guys, by the way, just so everyone is clear.
So this bit here I want to talk about, Tasha brought this up, and it blew my mind because I never even thought about this, but we were wondering if you guys think that people who do not define or do not go by a he/she gender do he/she gender for their animals. So if somebody doesn't identify as he or she, they do a they or them pronoun, how they define their animals.
Isn't it just like them guessing?
Well, I mean,
sense? Because they have no idea what they would want.
Yeah, just like
so in the sense
I know these dogs are male dogs, but do you think somebody who uses a they them pronoun for themselves also uses a they them pronoun for their animals?
Yeah, but they them for the people
is something that they chose.
Yeah, yes. The dog doesn't choose it. It's the person that chooses it.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying is, so if
the people would also like to be identified as they and them rather than he and she. So I guess the question technically would apply to the dogs too as well, you know. But I think to go one tiny little meta step in there, the people would have to be able to make a decision whether or not they believe dogs have identity. And I don't think dogs have identity. Believe it or not, I don't think dogs can self-recognize who they are. I know it sounds weird, but
like if they looked at themselves in the mirror, they wouldn't be able to know.
I mean, they can recognize that it's a dog, but I don't think like they recognize like
they are
like this paw, my paw is like this is my paw, you know?
Yeah.
If you have like something like a picture of something on a mirror, like the dog's not going to look at that and then turn around and check to see if it's behind them. They're going to go after the thing in the mirror.
For sure.
First.
I agree. I don't think Tank knows he's Tank. I just think Tank knows he's a dumb dog.
Like I'm sure they know their name and stuff like that, but I just don't think they can self-identify.
No, yeah.
Which, if that's the case, if they're incapable of it, then I guess I could see someone putting gender pronouns, attaching them to an animal.
Well, it's like somebody, you know, oh, your dog's so beautiful. What's her name? It's a boy. You know, like that.
Did you just assume my dog's gender?
Exactly. So that's kind of what.
But see, with that, again, the dog can't self-identify, so the dog doesn't choose. So it's up to the person to just make up one or to decide one.
So that's
stupid.
That's what me and Tasha were saying is like if somebody's so against using he/she pronouns or whichever, do you think that they do or do not then refuse to use them for their animals?
I don't think anybody's ever against using he/she pronouns to describe other people. I think it's like they have a preference for themselves, but not for other people. Like they don't care whether you refer to somebody else as he or she.
There are people who refuse to use he/she pronouns.
Well, yeah,
for
but
other
just
people?
for themselves, not for other people.
No, I think that there's people that would refuse to use he, she pronouns for anybody.
I
I mean, I'm
don't see
clearly
that
a
often.
guy. I'm clearly I self-identify as a male. I am a male, if biologically, if you want to label it anyway like that. So why would
No, I understand.
would be, and I don't want to say offended. I don't give a shit what you call me, but I'm saying if you call me, I would prefer you call me a Mr. than a Mrs. Or I'd prefer you call me a, Mr. than a they.
No, I understand. But I in the grand scheme of things, we just literally talked about people who dress up in mascot costumes and assume a secondary identity.
And Tumblr.
We are literally talking about the depths of the internet and the world. I think that there's people who would not identify one way or another, or who would refuse. Like, let me restate: who would refuse to use specific pronouns because they're that against gender assignment, or what would we call that? Gender.
I honestly think it's just like that kind of stuff is just for attention. That's all it is.
So I wouldn't go that far, but I will say I think we just kind of answered the question right then and there. If they don't recognize them in other people, then why would they recognize them anywhere? Like we don't recognize the same way I don't recognize a tree as male or female. And I guess that's necessary.
I'm not sure a tree, but what about like a flower? You have male and female flowers.
Yeah, even then, but we don't think about that really. Really, like that's a flower, and we refer to the flower as an it, or they, or them.
But just for the instance, who's a good boy? Like,
yeah,
that term is.
I don't think they'd use it.
Or who's a good girl?
Like they won't use it for people. Then why would they extend that? Why wouldn't they extend that to dogs?
That's what I'm saying is like, do you think that the people who would refuse to use them still do refuse them to?
Oh yeah, they would. If they do it for people, they would do it for dogs.
Yeah,
I think without question. Yeah, because we've constrained it so much that of course they would. But the people who are just seriously like, I don't like using gender pronouns because I don't identify as one of those things.
I think that they would I think they're two separate things in some people's minds. So they're going to use only they, them pronouns for humans, but then they would secondarily, because it's in their minds, it's a completely separate topic, would still use he, she pronouns for their animals.
To eliminate that entirely from your person vocabulary, I don't know why you would somehow still be able to adapt that for
it's not
animals and stuff.
It's not eliminating it. It's, I don't know.
You'd have to train yourself to do it for sure. Especially if you were groomed
one way at a younger age.
For your whole entire life. You'd have to train yourself to speak a certain way.
I understand, but that's what I'm saying is you can train yourself cognitively for people as opposed for people one way, and for dogs another, or animals another way. Training is all based in that. But that's what I'm saying is even somebody who's it would be interesting to see somebody who would refuse to use it and see if they without saying anything to them, see if they would use the he, she pronoun for their dogs or their animals.
But I think, realistically,
who's a good dog? That's fine. I get that there's that outlet there. That there's the appropriation, or not the appropriation, the term there, and they could use that. But
we use human pronoun. So if here's the thing, if you eliminated human pronouns for he or she, things like that, again for humans, I think you would also eliminate those for objects and other things as well. Reason being, we project our human pronouns onto objects all the time. My car's like a she. We refer to boats as she. It's we will say oh, good girl to a dog when or good boy, those aren't necessarily, that's a human thing. It's not we're saying good puppy or something like that. girl is something we refer to. Like that's a human pronoun.
Dog gives a shit.
Yeah. I don't think so either, but I mean, I'm just saying like the people wise.
By the way, you wrote dog sex, and it made me think of something completely.
I honestly thought, I was like, where are we getting to this dog sex? And then that popped into my head. I was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
I got to it.
It was supposed to be like a dog.
I thought it was related back to the furries.
Possessive.
I was like, what Tumblr site did we?
What Tumblr site am I following?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I thought it was. I mean, it would be interesting. Because I hate to use this as an example, but like I can walk through my everyday life and be completely culturally appropriate, but I can also take a joke from the TV show or from the TV and laugh at it.
I'm saying hi to Tasha. She's in the background. Hi, Tasha. Hi, Tasha. She's Raymond too. I'm keeping this all in here, Josh, for the video. So it's funny that way.
Good. I'm glad. Good.
Okay, so did you unmute me and then remute me?
No, I didn't touch it all.
Okay. Sorry. So anyway, what I was going to say is I can listen, I can go through my everyday life, be culturally, acceptable and politically correct and yada, yada, yada. But I can watch a stand-up comedy and laugh at black jokes or gay jokes or whatever through a comedy special. But the issue is
choose not to be that and just say whatever the frick I want to.
Why'd you say frick?
You're right.
That was really weird.
He chose to.
Exactly, because I chose to MF. Oh, but we got to talk about that soon too.
Okay, so hey, I'm just saying, like,
I'm going to challenge you on this, Drew. I don't think so. You said you could walk down the street and be perfectly like unoffensive, essentially, and I don't think that's true.
Oh, because I'm white?
No, because I think that there's almost an infinite number of things that you could do to offend somebody. And while it's best to try to be as inoffensive as possible, I don't think you're ever going to be able to be 100% free of that.
No, I'm not saying. I don't walk down the street spouting off the N-word because I'm culturally appropriate. I know that that's not culturally acceptable.
Yeah, but
I can laugh at it on the TV because it's a joke.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, like, I have conditioned myself to not say that in the everyday world, but to be able to, in the privacy of my own home, laugh at it on the TV and think it's okay on the TV, which is almost everybody. So whichever. But that's what I'm saying is, for somebody who can groom themselves to not say he, she about people, could also potentially not have groomed themselves to say he, she, or to say he, she about animals. Like it's two, I think it's cognitively two separate things.
I would disagree with that, just because the way that our language is built, we take human traits and put them on. We anthropomorphize all the time. So if you stopped it with humans, eventually I think you would also, if you conditioned yourself to stop it with humans, I think by association, if you stopped using all the human ones, it would also therefore then start applying to animals as well, and other objects even.
I don't know. I mean, I think it would be
I agree with Josh. I think it's a language thing, because we have feminine and masculine words for pretty much everything, and so it's in a lot of different languages.
We need to move on from this.
Dog sex. Moving on. So I put like drama alert in here because holy crap did drama go down this weekend in Phoenix.
This is crazy.
Is everybody on par with what happened? No, Dale? Awesome.
I'm not. You know I'm not.
Honestly, it's been all over my Facebook, and I would have thought that, I mean, it might have been something that you've seen too.
I have been sick now for a good 5 days, so I've been
That's true. It was a week. We literally, well, I guess, 5 days because we did the podcast 5 days ago. Yeah. You're right. But so to catch everybody up to speed here real quick, and I believe in the Philip DeFranco thing here. I'm not going to mention the dude's name because I think it was stupid. But there is a person who showed up to Phoenix Comic-Con
on Thursday of the Comic-Con.
Yes.
Because it was a 4-day con, right?
Correct. Yeah, most Memorial Day weekend cons usually are 4 days. Either they have the Monday off or they do. Yeah. So like Dragon Con, they get Monday, and that's Labor Day weekend. But still, they had a person who came in to the convention and was stopped, security checked, with actual knives and live ammunition and guns, with reports that he was going to go to the Comic-Con and have essentially kill some people. One person in particular being the Green Ranger, as one of the people he was targeting.
Jason David Frank.
People dressed as the Green Ranger?
No, Jason David Frank, the actual actor.
Yeah.
He's been heavily doing the convention circuits for the last about 2 years now. So he's, he was in London 2 months ago. Like basically, that's where he's.
Yeah.
And any report on why he was trying to kill the Green Ranger?
Wait, no. 2 weeks ago, he was in Motor City Con.
No, I said 2 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was in London.
Why did this guy want to kill the Green Ranger specifically?
Probably something. I'm assuming mental illness. I would assume.
There was no. What's the word I'm looking for?
Manifesto.
No mention of any reason why.
Yeah. Just kind of a
motive for why he would have done it. There's just the target.
Yeah, other than wanting to go there and cause mass hysteria, kill a couple people, and probably, if I could assume right, probably end up killing himself in the act, because that's usually how these things go down. But it would have been a very massive, big problem. So that was at Phoenix Comic-Con. And that's just the beginning of the story. In response to that, Phoenix Comic-Con was like, no, we're still going to do the convention for the rest of the days, except we're going to have a mandatory prop ban. No prop whatsoever. You can't bring in foam props, plastic ones. They can't be piece-bound. Like, you can't have them.
No prop weapons whatsoever.
Of any kind. So they did that. And they had a mandatory meeting with all the vendors as well on Friday morning. And we're doing this. So we're at the halfway part of the story. So then our good old friends, Ultra Sabers, who I don't necessarily want to condone in this, even though I bought an Ultra Saber, and I love it. They skipped the meeting on Monday or on Friday morning. From what I read, allegedly they skipped the meeting.
Was it a purposeful, or did they just not go?
They just didn't send any representative for it. So Friday comes, and in the meeting, any vendor that would sell something that could be weapon-like or weapon-ish, basically had to have it in a plastic bag, had to be wrapped up, and then or boxed up, and then they had to take that object out of the con immediately
and bring it back,
and then come back to the con. Like, they couldn't have it. So if you bought like a sword from a vendor and it was out of a box, they had to wrap that sword up in plastic, and then you had to take it out of the con and then come back into the con later on. That was the policy. Ultra Sabers did not go to this meeting, and for the majority of the day, Ultra Sabers were selling their sabers unwrapped and around the convention. They were given a cease and desist that, hey, you need to stop this. And they were like, why? Like, what are we doing wrong? We don't understand. And that was met with, I'm assuming, probably a pretty just do it. It's the con rules. And then they gave them bags to put the Ultra Sabers in, which were described by a spokesperson from Ultra Sabers as trash bags. So they essentially had to put the Ultra Sabers in a trash bag, tape them up, and then sell them that way. So then Ultra Sabers complied as of like noon that day or whatever, noon to like 8 p.m. And then by 8 p.m., they were told by the person who runs the convention, Ultra Sabers, pack up all your stuff, get out of here. We don't want you here. So they basically kicked them out. They had 6 10 by 10 booths that they kicked out of Phoenix Comic-Con, which as of somebody who paid, money, expensive money for what a little 6 by 8 booth or whatever we had. I mean, that's a really costly thing for Ultra Sabers. Plus, Friday wasn't actually a very busy day of the con because of all the stuff that happened on Thursday. There's a lot of people that just didn't go to the convention because they were worried about an event like this. So Ultra Sabers said they wanted their money back. They said they claimed they asked for their money back Friday morning. And when they were told they had to leave,
Friday
they were
morning
told,
or Saturday morning?
Friday morning, because they weren't getting any business. They were basically saying like, hey, since we're not getting any business and we're a vendor here and your con is not producing the numbers that it was supposed to, we want a refund back on our money. We don't want to pay for all this. And then by the end of the day, when they got kicked out, they were told no refunds because, they didn't follow the con rules. They're getting kicked out with no refund. As of telling this right now, the last update I got from the actual con, Phoenix Comic-Con, posted a thing saying, no, we did return their money, a portion of their money, the 3 days or whatever that were left of the con. They returned that money to them. They didn't return the deposits, but they returned the actual money.
Well, what did Ultra Sabers actually do wrong? I mean, I understand, accidentally missing a meeting, but to me, once they realized something was wrong, wouldn't they be like, oh shit, let's fix this then?
They were challenging it first. They were saying that, why are we doing this? This is stupid. No, we're not going to do this. And it wasn't until from what the two sides of the story were, Ultra Sabers, when they first found out why they had to do it, they started complying. From what Phoenix Comic-Con was saying is, no, they were hostile. They did not want to comply. And then finally, just before we kicked them out, they're like, okay, we'll comply, and then that was too little too late. And then they already made arrangements to kick them out. And also because at Comic-Con, most Comic-Cons, the security people that are there aren't really security people. They actually had to have local police come into the convention and escort the people out. And so now we're 3/4 of the way through the story. Now it gets even worse. So Saturday, Ultra Sabers gets people to go back to the convention, buy passes for Saturday, and then spread flyers saying that they were mistreated by Phoenix Comic-Con. They spend all this money at Phoenix Comic-Con. They were never refunded their money. They were told to leave. And in writing, spreading out all these flyers about what a terrible convention and how this was handled so terribly. And it's very interesting because this is kind of big. It's weird how it started off with an idiot kid who showed up, could have caused a ton of problems for the con. And instead of the nerd sphere, I guess, focusing on that, now we're talking about Ultra Sabers dissed Phoenix Comic-Con, and Phoenix Comic-Con, I don't know how it got to this, but this seems to be the majority part of the story.
I don't know where you heard that, but I literally have not heard one thing about Ultra Sabers. And
really?
Yeah, I only heard about Jason David Frank, doing the press conference and more importantly, the person that, the guy was messaging was the one who had alerted authorities that he was doing that. So the person's name was Reiko Dig, who was part of that there, or not part of that, but who was the person that alerted the authorities about that. So, I mean, it was very, very good. If the whole see something, say something issue. It's just really, I mean, it could have, it saved people's lives. It's not could have, it did. And it would have been very, very sad for me if Green Ranger died.
It would have been, it would have been terrible. So I'm glad that this got stopped before it even happened, which I think might be contributing to part of the reason why it wasn't as big of a thing as like the Ultra Sabers thing that I was seeing. Because I mean, my Facebook's just been flooded with Ultra Saber shit. Like I saw
you bought one, so that's why.
Well, of course, yeah. Facebook's analytics probably are doing that for me. But I don't think I ever mentioned saying, you know, I've been looking.
You just
don't you like them on? Don't you like them on?
Nope.
You
and I
on
guess
Facebook.
No.
Post a picture with you on with it.
Technically, yeah, but we didn't tag them. I don't know. It was just something that I thought was just, it's crazy how much drama came out of this con. But I do like that when I search like news articles for the con, the top like 4 things. So the first 4 things have nothing to do about the shooter. It's all positive things that came out of the con. Couple getting engaged. Check out what they found in the Lost and Found, you know, like some funny things in the Lost and Found. And then talked about, you know, prop weapon ban security measures at different cons and what to do with it. And then they talk about, you know, the gunmen coming into the convention. But I mean, it's very interesting. That's kind of our alley right there. You know, something like this happens. How is this going to affect future cons? You know, are they going to be more strict?
Well, and that's the thing is about cons is like you can do a peace-bound weapon coming into the con, but buying a weapon within the convention, that's not peace-bound.
What's peace-bound?
Basically, if you have a sword or like bow and arrows, your tips have to be dulled, and your bow, like they were trying to get Kayla to cut her bow when she came in the entrance. Her arrows, besides the one, were peace bound, but so they wanted her to cut her bow.
I'm not trying to get her in trouble, like, you know, and we can, but that was, I mean, from me, that was a dangerous weapon. Just me pulling it back a few times. I figured it could definitely hurt somebody.
Well, I understand that, but
even with it,
I don't think she ever really knocked her arrow, and that's like, hey, it's just one of those things. There could have been an accident. You're right, but that's the thing is like you buy a non-peace-bound weapon within the convention floor. There's actual master swords there that have dulled but still are pointy. I mean, that could cause, you know, that could be a disastrous thing.
But a chair could do this. I mean, you could say that about pretty much anything.
I understand that, but
and so I don't see that as I don't know, whatever. I guess it's not important.
The thing is, but what I'm saying is that at the point where we're at is going through a peace binding or a weapons check is almost at this point null and void, or a lost cause, because you can almost, if you wanted to do damage, you could buy a sword within the convention and hurt somebody. I mean, even an Ultra Saber used incorrectly with that heavy ass hilt could knock somebody out. Flip it over, use the saber side as the handle, and knock somebody across the head.
As much as bad PR that Ultra Saber is getting right now, and I don't necessarily want to give them good PR, but Ultra Sabers are definitely designed to be battle ready. So technically, yeah, I could smack the shit out of it whoever I wanted with my Ultra Saber, and I wouldn't have to worry about it breaking.
But what I'm saying is you can do that. The same thing about some of the metal things that people bring in just for like a stand, or like holes they use to just hang up banners. I mean, you can make anything into a weapon.
Oh, of course. I don't think it's anything, but I think it's limiting the amount of weapons you allow into a convention, and then the ease of access to it too, as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I was getting at, is the ease of access within a convention. Like,
it would be hard to pull a mic stand off of a stage and then use that as some sort of weapon against somebody else in the middle of a convention. Worse than it would be if you let someone with a legit sharpened blade in and it wasn't piece bound into the sheath, and then you just unsheathed it and start swinging that around. I mean, that obviously is going to be more accessible and easier accessible than though there's something else.
That's why if you bought a blade, they're making you carry it out because they know that that's an issue.
Which honestly, I think should be policy at most cons anyways. I don't think they should have weapons and stuff like that available in the convention. And if they do, there needs to be someone who's like, hey, you need to take that out of here. Not necessarily walk you out, but be like, hey, you need to take that out of here because you can't have that right now. Now, granted, we had a booth when we were there, so it was something else where we could kind of slide it underneath the booth and wait until the end of the convention.
Or
but like the average person.
Like Taylor's came in a box, so I mean,
yeah.
Which I mean, I think that would be acceptable as long as you left it in box.
In the box, yeah.
I mean, because like that's what Jason David Frank was doing. Like he had people who were coming in, bringing their dragon daggers in, and he was like, "Sorry guys, this week we're only doing signings in box. Like I can only sign the box. We're not taking it out of the box. Everything's a box signature this weekend," which is nice. Of him to at least, the convention to at least allow that stuff to come in to be signed and everything. But
yeah, I mean, to be real, and I know this is real, but I'm not going to mention names here, but first year at Comic-Con, there was a Jack Sparrow that was there who legit had an actual saber with a sharpened blade on it that was not piece-bound and an actual working flintlock rifle or flintlock handgun. So you could actually, if you were to load it and add powder and stuff, you could actually technically fire it.
I mean, we don't know it was fireable. There's the potential that it could have blown up on.
It was told that it could actually fire if they loaded it.
It was real enough that it could work if it was working. Yeah.
So that's something that, at a first year con, that kind of stuff happens.
And that the peace binding process for Comic-Con year one was the weapons check was pretty garbage.
Yeah. My Gladius could kick the shit out of somebody if I went in there.
We walked in with the wooden sword, and that's just as, might as well have just brought a 2x4 in with a handle and knock somebody upside the head.
Yep. I love that Gladius, by the way. It's my favorite thing.
But where are we at with time, guys? Anybody?
No clue. No clue.
Oh, well.
We will figure it out.
I do think that was some really big nerd news there. Other quick bit of nerdy news. Drew and I both went and saw Pirates of the Caribbean and Baywatch.
I would like to see it.
Okay. So maybe we can talk about Pirates of the Caribbean there. Everybody, if you haven't seen Pirates of the Caribbean yet, I will say go out and see it. I thought it was a really good movie.
It was. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, so definitely check it out. It starts off like every Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Dun 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 dun.
Completely crazy.
Yeah, just insane. I loved it. I guess that's not how every pirate movie starts off.
Dale, this city came up from the middle of the ocean.
Don't tell me anything.
This city came up from the middle of the ocean.
I don't want to hear it.
And then Jack Sparrow was on the tip of the wiener at the top of the city.
Why was it a wiener?
Because
I told you not to tell me anything, Drew, and you talking about the wiener.
People in Disney are crazy.
Quick question real quick. Was it episode 3 or episode 2? I guess I say episodes. Movie 3 or movie 2 where it starts off where everyone's getting hanged. Because
I think it was 2.
Was that 2? Yeah, because I was going to say, like, all these pirate movies starts off, like, really good. And then I was like, wait a minute, that one, not so much.
Well, they were singing, weren't they?
Yeah, but
I thought it started out great.
Oh, I mean, it was a good start, but it wasn't like...
It made no sense.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, number 4, like, exactly. Number 4 where you're being chased throughout London. But on to some possible science-y news here. There was something I was going to talk about, and I can't quite remember it off the top of my head. So I kind of wanted some more talk about something. But
well, did you? I know we talked about this briefly a few months ago or a few weeks ago. But did we talk about the slash dot? I think it is
slash dot,
or I can't remember what it's called. It's the battery that charges in 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
We talked about fast charging batteries like at one point in time. But
yeah.
Recently.
Did we talk about that, Josh? Slash, did we look in to see if it was legit?
That was the glass one or whatever?
Yeah.
Glass versus ceramic. When we talked about glass versus ceramic.
No, it wasn't that one.
That was the same episode.
No, it was on an episode of 10 that Dale saw
No, actually, it was, or yes, but I saw it prior to that. But yes.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see it prior to that. I saw it on 10, and I mean, I don't think like they demoed it, but they didn't do anything amazing with the demo. Because they only charged it from like 0 to 60% super fast,
but I mean,
and then they
3
stopped.
minutes.
Still, I mean,
do that in 3 minutes, and then let's say it takes the rest of the time. If you do constantly the 3 minutes for the 60%, I mean,
well, because it's not linear, we know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, so here's the thing: like, they could have just had a capacitor, and not a real battery.
No, and I understand. That's why I'm wondering if it was a real battery or
that's what. Yeah. So I mean, the only working demonstration they did to check the validity of it, other than just their word and their published paper, was like, hey, check out this video where we demonstrated it at a convention, but we didn't fully demonstrate it and we didn't let anybody test it. But look, we did it, so it's kind of
like the Wright brothers.
Whatever. I mean, the Wright brothers were like, hey, proof of concept. And then they flew that plane for like 30 feet and then it fell and
Incorrect.
crashed. What do you mean?
Incorrect. They actually, they flew the plane the first time for like 10 seconds. I can't remember the exact time. And they pushed.
It was only like 300 feet, though, wasn't it? Really?
They published that in the paper. It was like the world was going crazy. The people were like, "Hey, the Wright brothers do it." However, there was another person named Morgan. I can't remember the guy's last or the first name, but his name was Morgan, and he actually was credited with the first aircraft until the Wright brothers came to an event where they were flying people around, and they showed that their plane could fly. So it was actually almost, I think, a year later or 2 years later. And people were like, did you really do that? Did you really? Even though their date is still back from that one original time. So even though they have a proof of a photo, that's all they have is the photo.
Correct.
People thought Photoshop existed.
There was press there, though. I mean.
No, so not for the first time. There wasn't.
The Kitty Hawk launch?
Correct. For that very first time. There was another one.
Who took the photo?
There was another one a day later that it went even farther. And that was the one with the photo.
Okay, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, they proved it. Like, yeah, so the very first day, yes, wasn't able to prove. The next day, they proved it.
But the thing was, like, I watched it on the History Channel. It was a whole documentary about the difference between the Wright brothers and the Morgan brother. But it was like they said they did it, but they didn't prove they did it into like a big crowd of people. That was like one or two reporters, and no one really. It was like, oh, you could have had those guys lie until they proved it in front of somebody. It was an automobile guy. I can't remember who it was, but it was Ford. No, it wasn't Henry Ford.
Chevy Chevrolet.
But speaking of Henry Ford, the Wright Brothers bike shop is in Greenfield Village that you can go check out. It's where they actually built the pieces for the glider plane that they had.
And
so you
their house is right next door to that.
Nobody cares about Michigan.
Shut your fat face, Drew. Shut your fat face.
And it's a replica. It's not the original one. The original one's in the Smithsonian.
The original plane is in the Smithsonian.
Yeah, but the replica's in Henry Ford.
In the Henry Ford Museum.
Yep.
So.
All right. So what was your other best science news, Josh?
Well, since I was listening to Dale on that, I completely forgot what I was going to talk about now. I can't really. I'm trying to think real quick. Sciencey. Eclipse coming in August. That's cool.
DuckTales. Woo.
No. I do love DuckTales.
What is it?
The danger lurks behind you.
There's a stranger out to find you. That's DuckTales.
DuckTales.
Woo. Launchpad McQuack.
What is that his real name?
Yeah.
Launchpad McQuack.
That's a furry name.
And then there's Gizmo Duck, and I can't remember Gizmo Duck's duck name.
Wasn't Gizmo the robot guy?
Yeah, but he also had a duck name.
Tasha, I'm gonna become a furry. She said okay. She's going to have sex with me.
So this episode will come out in June. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't.
Technically, it will, right? Yeah.
So do we have a Sexy Nerd of the Month?
Nope.
Nope, that's it.
Drake Mallard. is the name of Gizmo Duck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It would be June 1st. We should make James a sexy nerd. Let's make James. It's his birthday. Let's make
Who's
James.
James? Who's James?
James, our friend.
Why?
Wait,
why does he deserve the honorary mention?
Yeah, I mean,
Drew's or
Derek's birthday's the first weekend.
We put this on a pedestal now, and now we're just gonna throw it to whoever we fucking want.
Yeah, we got to do something big. Who's big? Let's make.
Steven,
I think we should do either
want to get
the actress who plays Kimmy Schmidt, or the actor or Kevin Spacey for House of Cards.
I don't watch House of Cards.
Then I think it's
from
the actor.
Kimmy Schmidt,
Yeah,
not Titus Andromedon.
No. I think okay. How about this? The Kimmy Schmidt cast. I think they should be the sexy nerd of the month. They do a fantastic job every single time they release the thing.
Did you watch it all?
Yeah, I fucking watched it.
Me and Amanda watched like the first 5 episodes without you.
When did you watch the first 5 episodes without me?
When I was there.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Me and Amanda did.
No.
Dale was watching. Dale was
playing Overwatch and taking a nap.
Dale was overwatching.
So what do you think? You guys like that?
I mean,
Kimi.
whichever. I haven't seen. I don't watch it.
What do you mean
you don't watch The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
Do you have Netflix?
Yeah, I have Netflix.
Watch it right now.
No,
Put down your headphones. Put down your headphones.
I watched the first 2 episodes and I just didn't care for it.
It's hilarious.
Oh, fuck. We forgot to talk about Wonder Woman. There's some fun Wonder Woman stuff going on that we should have talked about.
Oh, well. Maybe
The Alamo Draft House?
Yeah.
The Alamo Draft House doing...
No boys allowed.
What do we else need to talk about that for?
Because
How do you feel about it, Dale?
I think it doesn't matter.
I don't go to the Alamo Draft House anyway, so I can see it on opening night with other people.
Me?
Yeah, you.
It comes out Thursday, doesn't it?
This Thursday?
Is it this Thursday? I think it
I
is.
thought it was next Thursday.
If it's this Thursday, we need to get tickets.
Okay.
Me and Drew saw a double feature, Dale.
Did you?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went,
Double piston?
We went. No,
no. Double Dutch Rudder.
maybe. Tasha was there.
Triple
Oh.
Dutch Rudder.
We went to we skiing. We went skiing.
In theaters June
Fucking hate it.
June what?
2nd.
So that is
It is
Thursday. So yeah, we went to go see Pirates, and then while we were like walking to the theater for Pirates, I was like, Baywatch came out? Dang it!
Why didn't we see Baywatch? And then Josh
And so
was
we
like,
bought tickets for Baywatch.
Josh was like, we could totally see Baywatch right after the show. And so we did.
Stay till after the credits for Pirates of the Caribbean, everybody.
Yeah.
It's good.
Wait, Pirates of the Caribbean, like end scene?
Yeah, after the credits.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if there's going to be a sequel, but because I thought this was supposed to be the last Pirates movie.
No, they got to make two. They got to make 6 out of it. That way it's two
trilogies.
2 trilogies.
What is this? Star Wars?
Everything is Star Wars now, don't you? know?
Man, what was my stupid science topic going to be? I had a good one when Dale was like, "Oh, we're going to do science topic," and I was like, "I've got one."
Okay, so
like,
we're really
now
going
I
to do
can't remember.
as the 600 of the month.
Yes, I guess.
What do you mean you guess? Pick another thing.
I'm just sad to see Jessica Negri go.
Hold on, pause. This is our show. Why can't we just make Jessica Negri the 600 of the month for June too?
No, we can't do that.
Pause.
We can do whatever we want.
Pause.
It's our show.
We can do whatever we want.
Pause.
The color green, guys. The color green.
We should make Dale's double-sided T-shirt the sexy nerd of the month. By the way, if anybody bought, I know nobody bought them, but for whatever reason, if anybody bought a Sexy Nerd Science shirt and the front and the back both have the logo on it,
What do you think the guy did? Like, he put down the shirt, did it, is like, what side is this? Let's put it up. Turns it over and then does it again. I don't understand. How do
there
you
we
fuck
go.
up?
I have no idea.
He probably took the shirt and and pulled it out.
Like
And
it's screen printed, right?
Yeah.
So you have to do the orange first, or like you do the one color first, and then you let it dry.
I don't know if they're screen printed anymore.
What do you think they are?
Just iron on.
No way. This is iron on.
I think it was just better iron on than that.
I have no idea.
Oh, the one that I have is like ink dyed.
It's screen printed.
Yeah. That's why the lines don't match up on the letters on the bottom.
Yeah, this one actually, the one on the back doesn't match up. They're offset.
Yeah.
It's like a shitty one. Like they fucked up on the first one.
They were like,
Do it on the other side.
We'll just do it on the back.
That's what they said. They're like, they're paying for this shirt. We'll just put it on the back the right way.
We got two. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. So come up with another sexy nerd of the month.
I came up with James.
I don't want to do James.
I don't want to do James.
I want to do James.
I don't want to come off an awesome interview we had with Jessica Negri being sexy of the month and go with James. I would be okay
It
with
shows our
doing,
humbleness.
It does.
I want somebody that we can talk to. I want somebody we can talk to. Not the Kimmy Schmidt cast. We're not going to talk to.
What about one of
Stephen Kevin Smith props? SKS props.
Okay.
Who?
Stephen K. Smith props.
Who's that?
He was another person that was on the Cosplay Melee.
Is it someone we can actually talk to?
Yeah.
Are we going to get him?
Yeah.
Do we want this to be in the podcast?
I don't.
So everyone can hear the promises you make us, Drew?
Sure. Why not?
Drew, are you taking responsibility to get confirmation of this guy on the podcast?
Yeah. Why not?
All right, guys. You heard it here first. June Sexy Nerd of the Month is going to be Stephen K. Smith and his special effects or
just SKS props.
SKS props.
We literally have been to almost all of the conventions he's been to.
I know. Well, wasn't he?
He was at OconCon.
Yeah, didn't he do? What's it called? He had the really nice.
Who's your favorite sexy nerd of the month so far? Let's all say at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Andrew.
Just gonna agree.
Wow.
Let's see where your priorities lie, Josh.
I love Michael Wilson. I just
screw it. Let's make it Michael Wilson.
Do we want to make it Michael Wilson again? Did we make him Sexy Nerd of the Month yet? In
this year?
This season?
No, we haven't.
Son of a bitch.
We could. He's been doing a lot of cool shit, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, always. Fucking A.
He keeps asking to be on.
Does he?
Yeah.
Who's he asking?
Wilson. Michael Wilson.
But who is he asking?
Everybody.
I have gotten 0 messages from Nightmage.
I got 0 messages from putting on Project Nerd.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? I said it very clearly. You can listen to this podcast back. I got 0 messages putting this podcast on Sexy Nerd.
Okay, now I'm gonna go back.
Now you gotta listen to what I'm saying. Shut up. Shut your mouth, Josh.
You got Sexy Project.
Project Sexy.
Nerd Project.
Nerd
Science?
Sexy.
Project.
Yes. Project Nerd
Science. We should have them on and name the episode Project Nerd Science. Oh wait, we already did that.
Why don't we have like Welcome Back Sexy Project Nerd?
Sexy Project Nerd?
Fuck.
We could do Project Nerd again.
What about that? Have we done it this year?
Yeah. When
did we?
Technically not this year. We did it last year when they stopped being a thing.
Welcome back.
Now we're doing a Welcome Back Project Nerd. Yeah, we could do that.
So wait, which one?
We should do. Oh fuck. Well, at least now we know who we're going to do for the next 3 months.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. The only time sensitive.
Jesus?
Why don't we do Jesus?
Why don't we do Jesus?
The only time sensitive one is going to be Project Nerd, I would say, because what good are we going to do? Welcome Back Project Nerd 2 months from now.
We wanted to interview some of those people too. So
yeah. And especially if we do Project Nerd and they It would be really funny if we do it and then they decide to not be a thing anymore, and then we have to give a goodbye Project Nerd again.
I think that's funny.
Like by the end of the month, we're like, okay, and goodbye Project Nerd.
And the website.
So I'll line up the interviews for the comic guys then that they wanted us to interview as well.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that would be good.
So we should have a month of interviews or so here.
So what's this week's question?
Well, last week's question of the week.
Last week's question of the week, Drew. Slow down.
Oh, sorry.
That was me. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Would you pay $39.99 a month for unlimited movie theater visits in your area?
Josh, what do you think?
I spent $35 on movie tickets just on Thursday. So
was it 35?
No, not really. It would have been if I didn't get my discount for being a student and having a Marcus Rewards card.
I was gonna say it would be 30, right?
It would have been $17 each one.
I mean,
$17.50 each.
Yeah,
but it was $15.
$17.50.
Yeah,
I thought it's $10 for a movie.
It's $5 for a student, and we had 3 student passes for 2 movies.
Okay, yeah, but so
that would have been
a regular
15 is 30.
Yeah, but
then there's also
10.
Yeah, but then there's also like another thing with when you buy them online, the convenience fee. There's like a $2 and something cent thing, but because
we were literally at the theater and you still use the app to do convenience fee. The convenience was already paid for,
but I don't have to pay it because I'm a Marcus Movies Rewards member, so it gets taken off anyways. Really? Yeah, so that's what I was saying.
I need to activate my card then.
The convenience was already there. We were at the place.
That's true. So yeah, this week's Sexy Nerd of the Month, or this month's Sexy Nerd of the Month, Project Nerd.
Woo, Project Nerd!
And
shit, I forgot. And then we're just cycling through because we already said that, and now we're on question of the month or week, and now we're going back to freaking.
Okay. Okay, so Josh, you would pay. So
I would pay. Yes.
Dale, would you pay? Would you go see a lot of movies if you paid that?
I mean, yeah, I would go see a lot of movies, but I like the whole experience, and so I like I'm assuming it's like the leather seats, all the whole 9 yards. And right now I pay $5 a movie for that, so that's why I'm like,
yeah. But here, listen,
8 movies for that, and I don't know if I'd see that.
Well, see, here's the thing though: is if you paid that and say, listen, you want to see 3 movies. Let's just say you want to say 3 movies a month that you wanted to see, like you were down to see no matter what. You were going to pay for them. You could see those 3 movies an infinite number of times. And then additionally, you could also see the other movies that you don't necessarily want to see, but you can see them for free, basically.
But I know, but I wouldn't want to see them.
But that's the thing is, like,
it's not for free. I'm paying more money than I would need to. I would only pay $15.
I understand that, but
so I'm paying more money for movies I don't want to see. And if I want to see the movies, I just go pay the money. I have up to 8 movies I can see.
Yeah, I suppose.
For me, no, I wouldn't do it.
Dale, where are you going for $5 movies? Imagine is only $5?
Yeah. Canton 7's Imagine too.
Well, wait, hold on. Is that with a specific discount, or is that a flat fee that you pay?
Flat fee.
Did you just say Canton 7 is Imagine too?
No, Canton 7 and or both. I get both for $5.
Okay. I knew what you tried to say, but you said Canton 7's Imagine too, and I was like, no, this car is not yellow.
But his mic puff is.
His mic puff's white.
It's orange. Orange.
It looks yellow.
But
I want the orange one now instead of the red one.
Dale used to, every time Dale would describe something as white, he'd call it yellow.
I don't know why.
That's eggshell yellow.
It's orange. It's solid goddamn orange.
It would be like,
white.
Look at this yellow piece of paper. He used to describe his white cutlass as yellow.
See?
Oh, wow. Where did you get all those?
Don't worry about it. Orange, yellow, red, black, blue. I wanted purple, and I ordered on the picture had purple, but they didn't give me purple.
God, if anyone's still listening to this podcast, thank you so much for listening to our podcast.
So this week's question: what color is your favorite?
God, no one's going to answer.
What color mic puff would you have? If you had to pick a Mike Puff color.
All right, so
please send us links in Amazon if you guys want us to buy special Mike Puff covers.
This sucky question of the week. This question of the week. Do you view us on Project Nerd?
Do you watch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
Wait, what's the question of the week?
What color Mike Puff do we want?
Oh.
I don't know if any of this is real.
Then I asked people to send us. Wait, was I supposed to be recording this?
You're lying.
I know.
You're lying out your ass.
My stress would go up so much.
Guys, we got to do one more podcast tonight.
Gotta do it
All
again.
right, guys. Well, that's the question of the week.
What color Mike Puffs?
Yeah. Send us
Okay.
What color Mike Puffs?
Send us a link to your favorite Mike Puff.
I just spell Puff.
Puff. Like Powerpuff Girl.
Okay.
Furries.
Okay.
Furries.
Were there furries in Powerpuff Girls?
Yes, there was. I
Fuzzy
also wanna talk
lumpkins.
there's so much I want to talk about. I want to talk about new Surface Pro, the Surface Pro lineup,
Gross. I heard it's supposed to have LTE compatibility though, and that's kind of cool.
and the Surface laptop is a lot more rugged than the Surface Pro, like
4.
new Surface Pro. No, it's
Yeah.
the 5th.
Well, we could talk about that next week.
Okay.
Yeah, Dale. That's not time sensitive.
Yeah.
It's a Windows product. No one buys Windows products.
It's looking very nice, and
It
does
look nice.
I
agree.
don't like any of the
Talk about it next week.
Drew literally hasn't bought a Windows product in like 5 years.
Yeah, since the last time I bought one, they made one right after I bought it.
Welcome to the regular technology. I bought a 7. They came out with an 8. Fuck it.
All right, guys.
But then you bought the 8.
That's true. But when they're selling $700,
Sound rich, motherfucker.
Whatever
right,
happened
guys.
to MFers? We're done. Thank you for listening, guys.
bye.
I was like, Drew was in the middle of saying bye, so I was just like, bye, guys. You have a
Bye,
great rest of your
guys.
week.